Have you ever looked at your dog, really looked at them as they perfectly execute a sit-stay for a treat and thought, wow, you could probably run this town better than most people? It's a funny thought, right? But what if I told you it's not entirely a joke? Today we are diving into the absolutely fascinating world of canine politics to answer the big question, can your dog actually become a town's mayor?
Oh, yeah, you are definitely not alone in thinking that. We've all been there, right? You watch your pup just masterfully solve the puzzle of how to get that last bit of peanut butter out of the Kong, and you're just in awe. It's a hilarious little daydream, but believe it or not, it's way closer to reality than you might imagine.
And this is where that daydream crashes right into reality. Because yes, in some towns across the country, dogs are actually winning elections. They're becoming honorary mayors. It's this amazing trend that perfectly mixes community spirit, some really creative fundraising, and, well, let's be honest, just a massive love for our furry best friends.
Okay, so right about now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, how is that even possible? And you're right to ask. A dog can't legally sign a bill into law or manage the city budget. But, and this is the clever part, some small towns have found this brilliant little loophole, a workaround that makes it all happen. It's a fantastic bit of creative thinking, and it all comes down to the title they use.
So the whole secret is right here, in this distinction. You've got your official mayor, right? They're the ones with actual legal power, signing bills, dealing with budgets, the serious stuff. They have to be human. But then you have the honorary mayor. Their job, totally different. It's all about boosting morale, being a furry ambassador, and showing up to fundraisers. The main qualification? Well, it's pretty simple. Being a very, very good boy or girl.
This is the magic little term that makes it all work, the honorary mayoralty. By just creating this symbolic position, these communities get around all the legal stuff. The campaigns aren't about taxes or zoning laws. No, they're all about getting the community together, having fun, and it's usually run by a local nonprofit or a business group.
And this part is absolutely crucial. The real power, the legitimacy of a dog mayor, it doesn't come from some dusty law book or a state constitution. It comes straight from the hearts of the people in that town. When the local coffee shop puts out a voting jar and the town paper starts covering the election results, that's when a quirky little idea turns into a really beloved local tradition.
So look, this isn't just some theory we're talking about. This is real life. There are actual celebrated icons in the world of animal politics. So let's meet a few of the most famous four-legged mayors in America.
Okay, check this out. This breaks down the two most famous examples, and what's so cool is seeing them side by side. You've got Idlewild, California, and Rabbit Hash, Kentucky. Now notice the voting method is the same for both. It's simple, $1 gets you one vote. But here's the really interesting part. Look at where that money goes. In one town, it's for animal welfare. In the other, it's for historical preservation. It just goes to show how each community really makes this tradition their own. Now, the story of Idlewild, it is just incredible. We're talking about a genuine political dynasty here. It all started back in 2012, and since then, a whole line of golden retrievers named Max has held the office. They've become these amazing symbols for the town, and you can literally see them greeting people from their own custom mayoral pickup truck. It's amazing.
And this right here shows you the real-world impact. This wasn't just a cute local story. The election of the very first Mayor Max set off an international media frenzy. People, tourists, were making special trips, pilgrimages really, just to get a selfie with the famous dog mayor. And all that attention? It created a huge tourism boom for local shops, restaurants, you name it. It was a massive, massive win for the town's economy.
So hearing about Mayor Max, it's really inspiring, right? It kind of makes you look over at your own dog and wonder, hey, could you do that? Well, if you're feeling inspired and you think your pup has what it takes, let's break down how you could, theoretically, get your own dog on the campaign trail. All right, so first things first, you gotta see if your community is even into the idea. And you absolutely cannot do this alone, so you'll need to build a team. People to help with events, run the social media, just get the word out. Then you need a fun platform. A clear plan for fundraising. Remember, donations equal votes. That is the engine driving this whole thing. And of course, you've got to hit the campaign trail hard. We're talking parties, meet and greets at the dog park, the whole shebang.
And hey, every good candidate needs a platform, right? You can keep it fun and lighthearted, stuff like more parks, more bark, or a chicken in every bowl. But, and this is where it gets really powerful, you can also give it a real heartfelt purpose.
For instance, if your dog is a rescue, the entire campaign could be about promoting adoption from local shelters. That gives the whole thing a much deeper meaning beyond just the laughs.
So you might be wondering, why go through all this trouble? Is it worth it? Absolutely. Because the benefits are actually huge and surprisingly impactful. This is about so much more than just putting a cute face and a tiny tie for a photo op.
I mean, this chart really says it all. Think about it. In a time when people disagree on so much, a dog mayor is something pretty much everyone can get behind. It builds this incredible sense of community, unity, and, like we saw with Idlewild, it can create a real tourism boost. And of course, the fundraising part can bring in a ton of money for important local causes. It's a win-win-win.
Okay, and this is probably the single most important rule of all. The absolute non-negotiable foundation of any of this is the dog's well-being. Their welfare, their safety, their happiness, it has to come first, always. The dog should never, ever be forced into a situation that stresses them out. The perfect candidate is a pup that's naturally calm, confident, and just genuinely loves being around people. The whole thing has to be a positive experience for them, period.
So that brings us right back to where we started. That original question, does your dog have what it takes? Are they calm enough? Social enough? Are they ready for the political spotlight? You know, even if your dog doesn't end up becoming mayor, just the process of trying is an incredible way to bring a community together. And hey, who knows? That little fluff ball currently snoozing on your couch might just be the next great leader to capture the heart of an entire town.